When it all come full circle, it's gonna be the craziest. Never cried on tough times because they made me this.
Welcome to a new Waterwave TV interview. We got the one and only Ace Pitty in the building. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, you were just Karen is here, but we were just trying to warm up from it being cold out here. Minnesota's getting cold now.
It's crazy out there.
Are you speaking of Minnesota? Are you born and raised out here?
Born and raised, more so Minneapolis. Yeah, but then I moved to St. Paul in the 6th grade, 7th grade. So I kind of, all of my family there for the most part.
Okay, so you've been in the Twin Cities your whole life?
Yeah,
for the most part?
Yeah. I lived in St. Louis for a year.
Okay.
So besides that, I've been here pretty much all.
What do you said you started it? You grew up in Minneapolis in the 6th grade, St. Paul, right? So you said, what was it like growing up in Minneapolis?
Man, it was more so like over south. Like lived over south, lived in Richfield, Bloomington. Went to school over north, lived over north. I ain't really know nothing. I thought Minnesota was Minneapolis,
Yeah.
So it was cool though,
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't. If you're not from Minnesota, you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
You hear about Minneapolis because that's where our sports teams are, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's what high school did you go to then?
I went to 5 high schools. I went to I graduated from Como Park, St. Paul. I went to Maranatha, that's in Brooklyn Park. I went to Kennedy in Bloomington, and then my junior year I moved to St. Louis. And then I came back and went to Como.
When did you pick up?
So 4, I mean, not 5.
Yeah, shout out Como, that's where we're at right now, around Como.
Yeah, shout out Como, the Cougars, man.
I mean, when did you pick up music?
I mean, I've been writing since I think I wrote my first rhyme maybe the 1st grade. 1st grade, 2nd grade.
Jeez.
And so, but I wasn't really, that's, writing it down. But my first recorded song was probably like my senior year, my junior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to think. When you first started, obviously when you're 1st grade or 1 year old. You say 1st grade or 1 year old?
1st grade.
First grade. Okay, 1 year old is every different. When you're in 1st grade, do you remember what you was rapping about, or the style at least of who you were looking up to or inspired by to actually start rapping?
Not that young, but as I want to say I started to get inspired. I want to say around when I started to understand the music, because back then you just if it's popular, the beat nice, you're gonna listen to it, but I don't know what they talk about. So probably the 6th grade, that's when I'm like, oh yeah, this rap, I love this shit, probably my biggest influences at the time when I was really getting into it was Wayne, Jay-Z, Wale, Biggie, Pop, stuff my dad was listening to. I still didn't really know who them guys was, but as I got older, I'm like, oh, okay, this is who that is,
Just a lot of the influence on what was being played around the house and shit like that.
Oh, a lot of old music. Really, my first favorite music wasn't even rap. It was 80s, 70s, Smokey Robinson. My mom playing that all day because she don't really listen to rap music. Yeah. So when my dad not around, I'm listening to that. So I'm soaking in all of that. Way before I was even a fan of rap. I know 70s, 80s music a back of my hand.
Yeah, what's your perception, growing up in the Twin Cities and being surrounded by rap music and stuff like that? Because I feel the rap culture in Minnesota isn't as big as it is in a lot of other markets, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
There's not a lot of hip hop background in Minnesota like there is in Detroit and stuff and a lot of other surrounding Chicago, surrounding areas.
All right.
From your perception, how did you get, inspired to become a rapper in Minnesota?
I never really thought about it like that. I always, like I said, 1st, 2nd grade. I remember my first rap.
Yeah.
I just rapping. I just fell in love with rap before I fell in love with being an artist. It's easy to rap. It's easy to put a beat on, and I've always been doing that. But it's so much harder to be an artist. Yeah, it's so much different.
I guess I should have worded the question more as you treat music because rap or music, hip hop, because you enjoy doing it first before maybe thinking this could be my forever career.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where I was getting at. It's there's not a lot of proof in the pudding in Minnesota being a rapper can pan out for a lot of people career-wise.
Right. Yeah, but I mean it's on the rise though.
Yeah.
Like you said, you think of Midwest, we not too much thought of. I won't say, but I feel like we definitely on the rise. But Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah, we kind of get outshined by the surrounding areas. Even Milwaukee right now is kind of
Milwaukee.
Really doing their thing.
So we kind of like on the back burner, but it's over the years you can see it is continuing to, elevate.
Yeah, and you went to you said you moved to St. Louis for a year, junior year, you said?
My junior year.
Did you have any influence on their music out there? I know St. Louis is becoming a popular hub for hip hop right now too.
Yeah, not too much back then. I was so locked in with basketball.
Okay.
I a young dude trying to go to the league. You know what I'm saying? And after you figure out, man, they be in the gym every day. I ain't in the gym every day. I ain't going to the league. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, not really. I wasn't really. I was still writing, doing little freestyles and stuff, and they all our slang is so much different than theirs, and they real country, so they'd hear me and they thought it was so funny because they like, man, he cold, but he sound weird as hell.
Yeah, St. Louis is a lot different than Minnesota when it comes to slang. It's like I wouldn't think of it as like a southern state. Like you think of Texas and Missouri.
You would think so, but man, wait till you hear them talk. It's all the same.
Yeah, I remember
sound all the same.
I mean, now that like there's a lot more rappers that have been coming out, they've been seeing it in interviews and shit. But yeah, it's a very southern slang. We went out there, traveled one time for a vintage fest, like to sell clothes and shit. And everyone out there had slang and southern slang and accents. Going to the Waffle House and shit. They got their own slang and how they say everything.
But yeah, it was I missed it out there, man. That was a fun time for me.
Yeah. So we're still kind of on the timeline of high school right now. Yeah. When you said you kind of really started releasing music senior year.
Yeah, like not really even releasing. My first like real release was 2018. I want to say fall, but I like little YouTube freestyles in high school, little stuff on the bus, stuff like that. Nothing.
What year
crazy.
Was that? Like, you just said 2018.
When I like my first mixtape on SoundCloud and YouTube was 2018.
Was 2018, and when did you graduate high school?
2014.
2014. Yep. Okay, so yeah, that was like basically that's really how everyone was releasing music back then. I feel like YouTube freestyle, SoundCloud, like getting everything on all platforms wasn't as common as it is nowadays. Yeah,
especially in high school, it was like a mixtape and album these days is kind of almost the same. Back then it was you knew the difference. Dat Piff, Hulk Share, stuff like that. It was so much different. Now it's all like a mixtape and album is not really, you can get them at the same distributing services, But it was so much different back then.
Yeah, releasing music is a lot different than it used to be.
Yeah.
When you were going through high school, was there anyone around you that was rapping? Like releasing music and shit in 2014 at that time?
In high school?
Because you're in the Twin Cities, I'm trying to think of who even would be like I'm trying to think of who was popping back then in Minneapolis, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
okay. If there was because I was still in high school, I was like a freshman in 2014. So I just didn't know if there's any that stood out to you that was like really doing their shit back when you was in high school. Yeah,
I feel like that high school is when everybody was kind of, and that's when the School of Arts on University, HSR, that's when it just got built. So everybody was in there, like even the big names now. We all was in there, So we were all kind of like on the rise. Nobody was really we all still young, playing ball, basketball and stuff. So nobody I can think of off the top of my head. No.
Besides music, was basketball your other plan or your journey or hobbies?
Yeah, that was first love. Yeah, that was. I didn't want to do nothing else but that. Yeah.
I feel like hip hop and basketball go hand in hand though. A lot of people it's just like the style, the music, the everything like within hip hop and basketball. It kind of all goes together. I've had a lot of stories of people. I've interviewed people and they were hoopers and that's how they got like a big buzz. People knew who they were and then they started dropping music and it kind of helped them with their music career. Do you feel like that, like being a basketball player, being an athlete, helped you after high school? Like, be a creative, be a music artist.
Because you travel so much, and I went to college. Thankfully, I was able to go to college. I graduated because of basketball. If it wasn't for basketball, I probably wouldn't have went. To be honest, and you traveling, driving in these different cities or going out of town, and not to mention you meet people that's not from home. They might be from Texas or they might be from Cali or New York, but I went to school up north in Minnesota. I used to be like, damn, y'all came here, but meeting them, they different cultures, if they like your music, if they like how you play ball, I might shoot to their city, go kick it with them and see how they living. So I was able to meet a lot of people through college or through basketball, and then kind of like maneuver like that.
That was kind of similar with the Waterway story. We all met playing college football. Oh, okay. We all went to like a school in Wisconsin and played football.
What school you went to?
We went to River Falls, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Played football out there for one season really, and then that second semester or that first semester of sophomore year is when we all dropped out after that and moved to Minneapolis.
Had it right.
Shit,
got to it right.
Yeah. Had to grind on it. Were you always making like the same style of music you're making now? Have you like mixed around and with different styles of music, singing, pop, R&B, rap? Like like have you mixed around a little bit? 'Cause right now, like I'm really fucking. Like, I just listened to your last tape that you dropped, and I fuck with it a lot. Like, I listened to it all the way through. I think I might have missed the last 3 songs just off the time I had, and that shit. I like it a lot. Like it's super lyrical, and I know SJ, who we just had in here, she was saying like I seen her, she posted today when I think you said you was coming in. Yeah. She was showing you love, and she always is like vouching for people that got bars in the city, and she had something to say about you as well. Yeah, that's big. That's big shit. Shout out SJ. But I guess that was a lot in one. But were you always making the same style of music? Nah, that's why I was laughing. Nah, because I was freestyling. Like I was that was my first introduction to, you know what I'm saying. So you might say some funny shit. You might say some goofy shit. Like that was my. I won't say my lane because I wasn't taking it serious, but I always could do that. Like I feel like I could do either. I feel like I can do either or, but I was on some, I don't even know how to, just on some funny kid saying whatever type shit. It was hard to me at the time. People was fucking with it, but I wasn't taking it serious at the time. Yeah, and really just trying to have some fun with it too. Yeah. I feel like you kind of have to have, like we talked earlier, like you care about the art of the music and having fun with the music more than is this the best job for me? Like you're just more focused on this is something I like to do, something I want to do. Yeah. But not to cut you off, but to piggyback on that, but like at the same time, the music back then was even the stuff I recorded early on, 18, 17, even 19, like. It was fun and it was playful because that was how, college or you're still a kid, but you're not a kid. You just now getting that, But then, I graduated from junior college and then, you know what I'm saying? You got debt, you got to work a job, you got to pay for this, you got to pay. It's not really fun. Life ain't fun. Not fun, but it's serious now. Yeah. Like I can't have a rough day like that and then go make a song how it's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it got real. Like, in other words, shit got real. So, it just kind of had that's still me. Like, I could still hop in that lane and talk, like, some cool, funny shit, but I want to rap. Like, I like to rap. You know what I'm saying? I think something a lot of rappers, like, when they're in, that they should take advantage of more that they don't really know is, like, when they're still in high school or living at home with their parents or don't have, as many bills. Not really obligations. It's just fun. Like, me and him was what? I wish we still had that old MacBook we used to have. We used to be tweaking. It's kind of crazy because like even if you're not making music, if you're starting a clothing brand, really, anything, like the less overhead you have to where you don't have to work as much and you can just pursue your dream, you got to take advantage of that time. Yeah, for sure. As much as you can. Because that shit'll go quick, and before you know it, you're going to have so many bills to pay and whatnot. Man. But yeah, it's doable, but you have to be real with yourself at some point and either get a job or find a way to make music or make money, at least within the music industry. Learn how to mix and master, learn how to produce or sell beats, do studio time, get a job to work at a studio, or even if you're just checking people in and out, but now you're in a studio all day, you're still in the music industry. Like, find ways to still make money within music. Yeah, that's a good way to go. But big reason why we're here today is your tape you dropped. It was like New Year's Eve, right? Or New Year's Day? It was the 31st, yeah. However you go about it. Back Against the Wall, Volume 2, Side A. And I know one thing you hit me up, you said you had a tape coming with 40 songs on it, and that intrigued me. Like, 40-song tape? Like, those, it's always like, I feel like right now it's like hard to really, to gather a lot of people on one album. I'm curious to see, like, your thought process on behind. It says Side A. Is this the 40-song tape? Yeah, you're talking about? Cool. Because I did listen to it. I fuck with it a lot. I co-signed the songs. Make sure you guys go check it out. It's really good. Back Against the Wall, Volume 2, Side A. Yes, sir. Talking me through that album creation process through it, why you choose the name of it, going with Volume 2, all that. Okay, yeah. So the Volume 1 was in 2019. That was my either third or fourth mixtape. 12 songs on it. It was mainly other beats, like covers, like other rap songs I covered. A few beats of mine that I purchased or found, but it was mainly, some SoundCloud, YouTube shit. And that was 2019, so this is just a Volume 2. But yeah, it really just like
you know, like back against the wall. Like when I made it, I really didn't. I was still at home. I was still living at home, working a job I didn't really want to work. Always kind of mad. I look at my old videos and I could see how I was mad. I was just like, damn, this. I'm out of college. Like, this shit real. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like my car was always messed up. I didn't really have no money coming in like that. You know. I was staying at home, but they trying to help me be a man, so I was paying rent, being late on rent with my mom and dad. But I'm thinking they tripping. I'm older now. Like, nah, they was just trying to, you know, help me, really help me out and make me a better man. But I just thought everything was just. I won't say a dark time. I won't use that word, but it was rough. That was a rough time for me. So I felt like literally my back was against the wall. So I tried to take that energy of being mad all the time or acting like I'm just, you know, angry at the world. And I was like, man, let me like that tape was so much different than the first three. I can't remember. That was either the third tape or the fourth one. So it was different from the other two I forgot, but it was so much different. It's a different vibe than the other two or the other three. So yeah, that was just a state of mind I was in. But for this volume 2, man, I was I ain't really dropped about a year or two. Videos, singles, nothing. Just trying to figure out the business. Like I said, it's easy to rap. Like I got millions. Like I got a lot of songs, man. I got a lot of songs that I probably haven't even heard in a long time. I just go through my notes in my email. So, but I had to take away from that just to figure out the artistry part of this. Like that's so much more important to rap. Like everybody wants to rap. A lot of people can rap, but can you be a good artist? You know, it's a big difference. So. I'm still learning, but that time I took away, I know much more now than I did. Yeah. So
sometimes that's huge. Like even with like these interviews and shit, I took a lot of time away from doing podcasts just to really learn and figure out, optimize the best for me, how I'm gonna do it, what's the easiest for me to be able to do this, how many I can do a week, how many I can do at a time, blah, 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 whatever it is, really chiming in on learning and have good conversations, whatever it is for you, you know?
And I'm pretty sure sometimes you're like, man, fuck this shit, I don't even want to do this shit. Yeah. You're like, man, I don't even.
Happens. You gotta refine the love for it. Yeah, you know?
And I had to get away from it, so, you know, I really was like, man, I write almost every week, even if it's 4 or 6 bars, and I come back a couple of days and add something to it, but I went cold turkey for like almost a year, like, trying to run from it, like, man, I ain't did enough to.
You said that one of your songs. You said you tried to you said something about trying to throw the music away, but it came right back.
Shit, crazy. I said, fuck it to the rap music. Threw it as far as I could. It came back to me. That's like for real. Like I was like, man, this shit I ain't getting no money on. You know, this shit. But it just was like, nah, dreams and just people like, man, it's crazy. When I wasn't making music, everybody was, damn, bro, when you gonna drop? Yeah. When I was making music, he dropped the song, but when I was done, when I was away from it, it was like, damn, bro, you done rapping? Yeah. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know you was listening to me, you know? So it hit different like that.
Yeah, it's weird like that, and it's always a hard balance to figure out how to promote yourself, because I feel like every artist is different, whether you're going to be big on social media and you're going to be making funny videos, or you're going to be rapping, or you're going to be secretive and you're gonna barely post, but when you drop, you hope people tap. It's like it is kind of hard to figure it out, but when you do take some time to figure it out, it seems to come a little bit easier instead of trying to do it all, like trying to drop music while you're also trying to record new music, while you're also trying to figure out who you are, and you're trying to figure out how to pay bills this week or this month. But like when there's a lot going on, there's a lot going on. It's hard to figure shit out. But you tell a lot of stories in your music, and that's what I learned listening to your album, that you really good at storytelling.
Thank you, man.
You can paint a picture really well. Like you can tell you've been like you talked about back against the wall. You didn't want to call it dark times, but you've been through a lot of shit, ups and downs and whatnot. I can hear that in your music. There's one bar though I heard that I want to see what the background story is about. You said something about stealing bubble gum as a kid to go resell it or something like that. Was that something you was doing?
What song was that?
It was on Do Enough.
Do Enough.
You said something about it was like the song we talked about the 501.
We used to hit the store to steal and sell the bubble gum. Yeah. And I ate Z's for dinner. How that make me troublesome? How that make me? We ain't have shit. Never worship paper, but the money power. Anybody tell you different? That's because they money sour. For real.
So when you were younger, I don't know, maybe
that's a true story.
A lot of kids always getting in trouble and shit, especially growing up in the Twin Cities. There's a lot of shit to get into. A lot of other bigger fish to fry, so kids can kind of get by, getting in trouble and shit. But yeah, was that a true story?
That's true
Stealing
story.
bubble gum, flipping it at school?
True
Where
story.
were you flipping bubble gum?
Yeah, man, and that's crazy. I ain't seventh, 8th grade. What? Go right before the bus. Leave out the house early. That's crazy. Talk about this shit. We leave out the house early. Wait 10 minutes before the bus come. Go in there. Just go in there and knock them down. $2-3 for the. That's when the 5 gum had just came out. Remember how popular the 5 gum was?
Yeah.
How big the commercials was?
Yeah.
What? Selling joints like $3, make $20. I'm thinking, I'm 12, 13, thinking
So were you selling them like piece by piece at school? Or?
Nah, by the pack. Like,
okay.
So
we
was
just
taking
like the plug at school with the gun? Or
yeah, it lasts for a couple months, man. It wasn't the whole year, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. That's something some other kids should have figured out. Not stealing it maybe, but selling it. Because I know you pull out a pack of gum in school, everyone's going to
everybody want it. Cheetos, candy, all of that. Yeah, I remember distinctly. That's when the 5 gum was crazy. They had the best commercials.
They did have the best commercials.
Man.
That should make you want to buy it.
It just made you want it. Yeah, and we was like, man, we can make some money off of this.
And you also referenced in that same song about kind of the styles of the clothes that were in during that time, too. Like, talking about people used to steal or rob each other for their 501 Levi's and their, what was it? Don't have enough true in my jeans or something. You said something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, like, a style is kind of coming back, too. The baggy style and whatnot. Because, like, I'm sure you're referring to, what, like, early 2000s? Or like mid 2000s?
Like 2000s? Nah, like, well, I always wanted Levi's. I only had like one pair of Levi's, but I never owned no Trues. But Trues was more so 9th, 10th grade, when Keith hit the scene. They was 2 Chainz, and it was being popular, but for our generation, kids that was our age, like, we seen Keith and them doing it, and everybody had Trues. A true fit, everybody had it.
The full true denim fit at school, I remember seeing that.
Everybody had, but I never had it, so. And when everybody got it, like when Hollister hit or when Abercrombie hit, everybody wanted that. I used to be like, damn, I want some of that.
I used to hate that shit. My mom used to always want to put me in that shit. And I'm like, nah, give me the Nike basketball shorts and a Gopher t-shirt or something.
Yeah, man.
The pretty boy shit.
Them was the times.
Yeah, so like, and I guess just a full circle on that. You tell stories throughout that whole album that date different time periods, and that's what I liked about it when I listened to it. That was one of my favorite takeaways from it.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
What is your plans on pushing this album? It's still fairly new at the time of recording this. It hasn't been out for a full month even yet. Do you have plans like to try to get as many videos in as possible, or how you're doing shows? Like, what's your plans for the future with this album?
Yeah, definitely some shows, some videos coming. Definitely a lot of videos that I got in the works. Really just seeing how it's people's perspective on it, and seeing how they accept it, and just that'll tell me a lot I need to know on how I play the side B, how I present that. So. Definitely keep pushing it on, doing some more videos, doing stuff like this. But videos is like my main. That's like big right now.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend trying to do as many videos as possible, because each one of those songs, like, if you get the right cameraman that's like willing to actually like use his brain to paint the picture, like tell a story in the camera rather than just pull up and just shoot and edit it, like I think like each one of those songs have a chance of like the video would help paint the picture of each one of those songs.
Yeah, I agree.
You talking, you showing the scenes, like, I don't know, getting a clip of a kid taking some bubble gum from the shop, selling it on the bus. Like, imagine like that with that bar in the background. That's already like that shit could go viral by itself, and because everyone can there's gonna be a lot of people that can relate to that shit.
Even if it wasn't bubble gum, it was probably
chips or snacks or waters, whatever. Anything, it is. Like, I think there's a lot of like relatability in that type of music.
Yeah.
And I was talking with I was showing some of the music to some of the guys here while we were waiting, and we were talking about it, and it's like the style of music you make is the style of music that I think Minnesotans respect the most. But it's like also hard because like there's not very many rappers in Minnesota that are doing their thing, like we talked about earlier in it. But the style of music that you make is like, I feel like what would work in Minnesota the best, like that true like bar spitter storyteller. Like I put you like next to like the names of like Juice Lords, if you're familiar with him, or like the Righteous MCs, or the Nucky. Like, you guys are making these types of songs that are like just super lyrical.
Shout out all them guys too. Shout out
all those guys, like all just super lyrical and just like basically just bars over, you know, antics. You know what I mean? Like, and it's super. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you have a perception on like what's going on in Minnesota music and how you perceive it, of like what the fans maybe want. Like, are you making music for what you want or for what you think fans want?
Man, to be honest, I would say respectfully, it's always what I want.
That's good.
It's always what I want, because you can't get lost in that. I'll never be happy. Like, you know, even if I like the song, it'll be because they like the song. You know what I'm saying? But if they be like, man, we ain't rocking with that, I'm probably be like, damn, what did I say wrong? It's always what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's one thing that some artists may get lost in the sauce, is they're too busy trying to focus on making music for what the people want versus what they like or what they want to.
And sometimes it works. You know? Sometimes it, you know, some people have styles that can complement. You know what I'm saying? Like they feed off of that. Oh, they like this. Oh, I'm gonna give, like, and it be cold. Like, it be, but for people who you can tell that's what they do, that's what they aim is it ain't gonna work the same. Like, if you can tell you doing it just for that certain reaction, okay, they like it, okay, cool. But what if they don't like it? You not gonna like it. You gonna want to stop rapping. And so I gotta go with me first, and then, you know, maybe they gonna like it, maybe they don't. But at the end, I know that is what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's always up to me in that aspect. Yeah,
and you didn't have too many features on this tape, right? It was just the Weirdo one.
Yeah,
right?
Weirdo Dre, brand new. My guys, shout out them. Really, my dogs.
Is there any artists that you plan on collaborating with this year, or maybe that's on, you know, side B, or whatever, that like you want to, you know, show some love to, or that you've been fucking with out here, that you've been working with, wanting to work with, stuff like that?
Yeah, the ones that I've been aiming for, and the ones that I really would like to collab with is, I can't say too much about the side B, but there's gonna be some of them on there. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get more into that. But I just was in a point. I was just in a time where, like, I won't say time, in the space where I want to know, I want to see how the perspective of me is first. Like, I don't want to get too caught up in features. If I don't got my sound all the way, I want y'all to hear me. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be me first.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's me making the music. So, but yeah, I don't do too many collabs, and it's not that I'm against it. Like, I'm aiming for it to do that. That's definitely in the near future. But you know, I had to see if I could do it without, like, you know, because I feel like I can make music, any type of music that I want. I feel like I can do it pretty good. So. You know, so I'm trying to. It ain't there yet, but I'm trying to master that first.
Yeah.
And then I can be able to, you know what I'm saying. But to be honest, the features that I do have, even on the side A and side B, it was either I had a verse and I sent it to them. Do you like this verse? Put something on it. And or they send me, I don't really like this, P. See, let me know if you like it. Put something on it. I send back my verse. They like, man, your shit go hard with mine. Or they send theirs back. I'm like, hey, your shit go hard with mine. So we just kind of, it wasn't even really like, yeah, bro, I got a song that we finna do. Let's knock the song out. It was just, we just, like, cause if they would have said, nah, bro, I don't really like that song, I'd have been like, cool. Yeah. You know, and I probably would have listened to it again and be like, yeah, maybe I could switch this, or, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, definitely more collabs in the future though. Most definitely, I'm aiming for that. Definitely aiming for that.
Collabs can be, I mean, because, you know, they help you gain some fans from your fans, help, you know, trade off some fans when we make a good song, get on a video together, show unity or whatever people like to say, to really, you know, pitch it and whatnot. One thing I wanted to ask is how you got your name, Ace Pitty.
Ace is really, Seth is like, that was my first 1AO. If everybody know 1AO, one and only. That was like my first name, like first name. But and then Seth, like. But like Ace is really just S. Like I didn't want to be S Pitty though. So Ace, you know, you say Ace fast, it's really like S, you know. But then Pitty, my last name Pittman. So you know, I kind of just put both of them together. Yeah,
there's so many different rap names nowadays. So I have to always ask how you got them.
Man, I don't even want to. My first rap name that I put out was 1AO, but the ones before that, like high school, middle school, I don't even want to talk about them names. We ain't gonna talk about them, man.
That's like me with my Xbox gamer tag. I probably went through like 20 different gamer tags.
Or like your first emails. Y'all be looking at them like, what was I on?
Emails. That shit be crazy. Having like, I I don't use that one for business no more. That should be embarrassing.
I'll tell you.
But for to close out, since you are from the Twin Cities, from Minneapolis and St. Paul, I want to ask you some fun questions here about Minnesota. Growing up, what was the best food spot to eat at in Minneapolis or in the Twin Cities?
The best food spot. Like young, middle school.
Yeah, I'd even say like best fast food spot growing up, not like sit down restaurant.
Best fast food,
or like buffet. You know, like that spot that you would just, I don't know, that was like you was just known to go to all the time.
Well, I could do it by the city, cause when I was in Minneapolis and Richfield, Bloomington, I didn't know nothing about St. Paul. My grandmother lived out here, but we always came out here in Porky's. That's when they stayed at Porky's. I used to fade them, the shakes and the burgers and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that was and checkerboards, a pizza. Them is probably my favorite too. Like when I first came to St. Paul, but in Minneapolis it was a pizza gallery. That's like in Richfield. I don't even think they around no more, but they used to be legit. And that's really, and Hooks. I mean that's still around, but I've been, you know what I'm saying. That's pretty much the only.
Yeah, Hooks is a staple. My
favorite fast food, Culver's though. I don't think nobody touching them.
Ooh. Culver's is pretty good.
Yeah, they
I've had a lot of Culver's in my day, though.
Yeah.
Culver's is good. What's your favorite sports team in Minnesota and why?
Timberwolves.
Just because of basketball?
Because of basketball. And, you know, we the way we looking, not even because of this year, we doing so good, but and generational talent, man. You know, he got we were just talking about that earlier, he got a chance to chase that, not chase, but catch that legacy Garnett left or made here. You know, he's that good. Like he's that electric, you know. So definitely the Timberwolves. And yeah, I've never been to a Vikings game, man. I gotta catch. I've been to a Wild game. Yes, I have. I'm tripping. I've never been to a Vikings game. I gotta go check one out next season.
Mm-hmm. What's one thing about Minnesota that makes it feel like home?
Say that again. I hear
What's one thing about Minnesota that makes it feel like home?
Makes it feel like home. And that's a tough question. Makes it feel like home.
I just came up with that one on the spot.
Yeah, I mean it's home, so I don't even probably seeing my family because I live a few hours away.
Yeah, that was the answer I was expecting, was family. Because a lot of people, they say, or be like, why do you always come back to Minnesota? Why do you stay in Minnesota? I guess everyone always says family.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But the people who do leave, they somehow they always manage to come back. Mm-hmm. They be so eager to leave. Minnesota ain't shit. Minnesota this. They leave for a couple years or a year and come right back.
And then realize there's every other place still there.
It's the same. It's just, you know, there.
Unless you move to Times Square,
and it's really,
Vegas Strip,
right.
Or something.
And it's really in our best interest because we don't. You know, all we deal with is cold. Everywhere else, you might be dealing with all type of other shit. You know, tornadoes, this,
that.
Got
hurricanes, we don't got alligators, we don't got sharks, we don't got whatever people
You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to say tornadoes. We got tornadoes, but yeah, like all that other earthquakes, so I don't know, whatever. But we just got to deal with the cold for 3-4 months. So it's always to be home.
Okay. Well, before we get out of here, is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything, shout outs, any closing comments?
Back Against the Wall, Volume 2. Shout out Teflon Entertainment gang, and I appreciate you having me, man.
Yes,
you know, I'm ready to, you know, keep elevating.
Yep. One thing I want to do here before we send out, one thing I want to start doing, if you are down for it, do you want to spit some bars for us before we get out of here?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, bet. You want to pull up a beat, pull up a song or something for us? Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Let's do it. When it all comes full circle, it's gonna be the craziest. Never cried on tough times because they made me this.
Man, I've slowly become my nigga 101. I view things a little different, but act like I ain't see it. Try to show how you genuine, they think you punkin', huh? I was the shortest front line, Tadnea youngest son. Never wanted to be no thug or no gangster, nah. I seen a boy not make a team, now he waving bangers, huh? Maybe he always just wanted that persona. His whole family with the shit be looking at him awkward. Maybe I should've went harder, weighing out my options. Maybe all my past bitches needed newer collars. Maybe I should've realized just is what it is. Maybe I traded in love for a couple nuts. Maybe I should be more sharper with all my energy. Giving too much of myself to motherfuckers not feeling me. If my family needing P, make moves like it's 10 of me. Zoom, feel the breeze, treat a 10 speed like an L cut me. No, whoa, hold up, let me get my door. Damn, that's the money counter. Remember when I thought just a story. She like to run the show, go ahead. I play Robert Ory. And mad that I don't call back. I'm in the booth right now, baby, and I'm going all Shaq. Eric Dan Pitt, the way they all rap.
A head father down, all she do is lie. Say it in my phone, it's all cap. That shit so far, I saved it all caps. And I'm waiting all back.
Yes, sir, that was Ace Pitty, Back Against the Wall, mixtape out now. Go get that shit now.
Go get that right now, not now, right now.
Just dropped. Make sure you go get that. Follow him. His Instagram is on the screen as well as in the description. Hit the link in our description to follow him. Follow us on Instagram at Waterwave TV. Come shop with us at 1521 Como Avenue Southeast, Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we got vintage, we got Jordans, we got all the different types of sneakers. We got hype, we got designer. You can book your studio time at waterwavetv.com. If you're not in Minneapolis and you want to shop with us, you can still shop with us online at waterwavempls.com. Once again, thank you for coming in. Thank you for giving me your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me, man.
And we out. Peace.
We out.